Hi, good evening. Actually, when we saw yesterday, there was some issues, right, when program. So that's why I thought it took a lot of time. So instead of doing uh, doing before itself, before class, execute before, and then we have to present you. By that, there will be less time taken. Let me share my screen. So yesterday there was a problem in some of the calculating some of the numbers, right? The series, right? For this, whenever we were trying, we were getting only one, right? So what was an issue here at check? Yeah, hello. Internet got disconnected. So let's share again. So as I was telling, so we were doing int by double. We were doing int by double. If you do like this, always it will give into value. So that's why we should do whenever we are doing multiplication, division, something like that. We should give same data type, which is our higher data type. Like, so we have short and we have int. In short value, we cannot send into value. So it's always expected higher data type. Means in int we can pass short. In float we can pass int. In double we can pass float value. But vice versa it's not possible. In float value we cannot pass send double. If we and in int we cannot send float value. Even if we send float value in int, it will be adjusted to that data type. So that's why there will be a loss of data whenever we do higher precedence data type to lower precedence data type. So to solve that one, here we should give the whatever on above also should give double character. Then it will work. So now if I give 4, You can see that there is a value printed here, proper value. Earlier we were always getting 1.7. So the logic of this program is mainly we always, whenever there is a program we wanted to write, we always should check the sequence. So here it is starting with 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3 and so on. Means this also we can write as 1 by 1. It is in incrementing plus 1 every time. The top letter is not incrementing, but the below letter is incrementing. So this we can easily achieve by using for loop or while loop. Okay. So here if you see now, I have initialized sum with 0. I have taken a float, and then we have I and n declared. So n is nothing but the length of the sequence. So for I equal to 1, I less than n, I plus plus. Every time we will be incrementing 1. So if the series looks like this, means let's assume the series looks like this: 1, 1 by 4, 1 by 8, 1 by 16, and so on like this. Here below numbers are in sequence: 1, 4, 8, 16, and so on n. So if you see closely observe this one, it is 2 square, 2 cube, and 2 power 4. So to solve this one, this we can write one more time, one more way also, right? 1, 2 by 2. Here it can as 2 power 0, 2 by 2, 2, 3. Like this also we can write. Means in the first iteration we will, if we convert this to for loop. So first we start with 1, then we will get 2. Okay, then we will multiply 2 with 2. Means now we will store this value every time in some variable, right? So now we will be having 2 into 2. In the third time, so we already have this one. We need to do one more time. So again we will do variable into 2 only. Means we already have 2 by 2 here. So again now we are doing multiply by 2. So now means in V now it will be having 3 times. Again in third loop, the number of loops it is iterating. The same way it will be incrementing. The multiplication also will increase. Like that we can add this one. If the series is in a different order. So we have, in programming we always will divide the larger problem into small problem statements. By that time we can code easily for that one. Okay. I hope this solved your yesterday's doubt why it was not working. And next major, let's write this one in while loop also. Same program we write in while loop. Okay. So while doing the same program in while, let's take int in here. So we don't need to do initialization here. It's already initialized. I equal to 1. Updation in while we won't do this side. Okay. So just so this is a while loop syntax. So this one now can be converted to while simply. For loop written like this and while loop written like this, both are same. Okay. I just moved this function to outside. Let's move this one also to outside as a function. Okay. So this is with for loop and this one will be with while loop. Both on there is not much difference here. In while loop we will initialize here, write a condition here and do the updation here, and then the logic will remain same. In while loop, the updation will be outside of the loop and the updation will be inside at the end statement or wherever we want to write, we can write and declare it and it will work. It will do the work. As I'm taking input from inside, at runtime, I'm moving it out to outside. Okay. Now print sequence with for loop, and I am doing with the while loop also. Okay. So I'm giving four. You see both for loop and while loop it is returning the same value. So the only logic is like where we declare initialization and operation of this one. So that is some of the values. Other important program is Fibonacci series. What we call it? Call it Fibonacci series. So we get like sum of the two previous numbers. We call it as Fibonacci series. It will start from 0, 1. And 0 plus 1 it will be 1. 1 plus 1 it will be 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 plus 2, 5. 8. 30. Like this, it will continue. Fibonacci number is nothing but previous two numbers. We call it as Fibonacci series. Sum of two numbers. Sum of previous two numbers, and it will always start with 0 and 1. So to now, if you see the sequence, it is forwarding, right? In the forwarding way. So these two numbers we will have. So take this one as previous 1, and this one is previous 2. So this is 0, first number, second number, and third number in the sequence will be addition of this one. Now equal to previous 1 plus previous 3. So if they ask third Fibonacci number, we will get 0 plus 1, that equal to 1. If they ask fourth, so we already have the previous number is 1. 1. So previous one will become 1, and previous 2 will also become 1. So that equal to 2. Now this 2 will be, the pointer will move from here to here. Yesterday we have discussed sliding window pattern, right? Like two pointer we have discussed in an array. One will start from here and other one will start from here. Now this one will call it as sliding window. So we will take two pointers and it will move accordingly. So the logic is simple for Fibonacci series. So we always addition of previous two numbers with consider as. So the logic is simple, like number one is equal to previous one and previous two. Now let's see program for this one. So Fibonacci numbers we can do either by iteration or by recursion. Recursion topic we'll discuss after this iteration one. So now I told Fibonacci number is nothing but sum of previous one and previous two numbers. So it will always starts with 0 and 1. So here, so for us the series is 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay. So this one will be taken as previous 2 and this one will be taken as previous 1. This is current number that which we will want to find. So from here this is 1 and this is 2. Okay. So now we are iterating from 1 and the number of given nth number. So we'll calculate the previous one and previous two. The number remember everywhere we will get swap. So now here we have number which is current value. So this one is previous one and this one is previous two, and this is the current number. Until now we have only these two numbers. You see here we have only these two numbers, 0 and 1. After that we don't have any number. We have to calculate them and find them. Okay. So now we are taking a third variable number. So we have two elements available, previous one and previous two. So we add them and we assign to the number value, which is the next Fibonacci number. So now we have the next Fibonacci number. We have to find now we got this number. So the next element is the Fibonacci number 2. How we get it? We have to move this previous 2 from here to here and previous one from here to next element, whichever is the current element. So that's what we are doing here. We are calculating and finding the next element, next Fibonacci number element. So we are shifting previous one and previous two. So initially previous one and previous two are here. Now we are shifting it previous one to here and previous two to here. So now those two values will hold these two values. Previous two we are shifting from old location to previous one, and previous one is the current element. This is the number we have calculated, and we do the next iteration. So in the next iteration, we have to find this one. Now the previous one will be 1 and previous 2 will be this one 1. Again the same. Now we get the 2 as the result in the second pass. So now the previous one element, previous one variable whichever we are having, right, we will move to the next one, means current element, and previous two will move to from that location to here. So now in previous one we will have 2 and previous 2 will have 1. We will go move to the next pass like this. So let's execute this one. So we have a main method. So we return print Fibonacci outside as a function. We are taking the number as how many Fibonacci number series we want to print. So if it is less than 1, invalid number. As we see 0 and 1, what we have until 1 we can write as the series starts from 0 and 1. Next we start with a for loop until a given number. If I greater than 2, we start calculating. If I less than 2, we have already 0 and 1 are our Fibonacci number. So we print directly. Okay. If I equal to 1, we print previous 2, and I equal to 2, then we print previous 1 also, which is like nothing but 0 and 1. So whenever it is greater than 2, it starts calculating and do the logic. So we add previous two numbers. That one will be the current Fibonacci number, and we will move previous two to previous one and previous one to current Fibonacci number, and print the current Fibonacci number. Every time we will move one by one. So I have to declare the function here. So until 9 we have given. So the series is printed like this. Now 0 is the starting point. Now 1. The next number 1 will be the sum of these two numbers. Let's write here 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 30, and 21. Before to this, there is no Fibonacci series. That's why it is less than 1. We are not printing Fibonacci series. Invalid number we are telling. Now, if it is 1, we can print until 0 and 1. If it is less than 2, which is meaning of that one. So here 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, and 8 plus 5 is 13, and 13 plus 8 is 21. That's what the Fibonacci series number it is calculating and printing. Okay. Sometimes they might ask give me the nth Fibonacci number. So that time instead of printing here, we just return the value whenever we get the number that whichever is required here. So now let's print for 5. Six. This also I will explain. And tomorrow and after tomorrow we don't have class. So I will be taking classes on Sunday. I have busy office schedule for tomorrow and after tomorrow. So all these questions one by one we will explain. Okay. So now we have Fibonacci with at recursion. Or simply let's discuss about what is recursion. So now we have seen functions, right? We have main method. Sorry, here in C we call it as functions, not methods. In Java we call it as methods. We have now we have like fib function. So we might have like another fib function also. Recursion is nothing but a function calling itself. A function calling itself is called recursion. So as we discussed earlier, all programs will be working in loading in stack, and then the program execution will be started. So here this is a stack starting point. Here main will be there. If any function is defined here, so it will jump to this function, like function one. Let's give properly here. So now in main function we have function one, we have function two, we have function three, and some printf statements. We have some function 4. Here also we have some printf or some logic here. So whenever the program pointer comes here, so the execution will start from main. Okay. So here some printf function. So it will execute this printf function. Next it will go to the next line. As C is a line by line, it will get executed. So next it will go to the function one. So as this is a function, it will go and load into the stack and start executing the function one. If in function once the function in function we have like function x, then there will be one more function created. In function x, if we have function y defined, it will get function y will be loaded in the stack. So once this is completed, then it will come back here like this. Now here we have multiple functions defined in the same line. Means here how it will work means here we have loaded main function. Now here we have F1, it will load. Execution completes. After execution completed, it will discard the memory and it will come back again. And it will print whatever logic we have defined here, it will work. And next F2 will be loaded in the stack again. Once it is discarded, it will come back again. If we have in function, if it is in F1 function, if you have multiple functions, so then it will go and load that function again and again. Simply a function is recursive function means the function will call itself multiple times. And for recursive function, whenever we define a recursive function, the logic should be, it should have some termination point. Without termination point, if we call a recursive function, we will get stack overflow here. Means as we discussed in RAM, it will be keep on assigning memory. So if it is 1 GB RAM, if we didn't have like recursive function, like recursive function, syntax will be whatever input, it should be a termination condition and the logic. Without termination, it will keep on loading the taking consuming the stack memory until it is full. Once it is full, it will come out and until like I cannot run this program. So as we told, same we have defined in global now. Previous one and previous two. It comes to main print fab we have. Now it will go into the fab. As I told here, we have we should have some termination condition. So if it is less than 3, it is terminating. If not less than 3, then it is coming here. Where it is adding previous one and previous two values, printing it, and then it is sending to n minus 1 again. Let's see how this will work, right? So print fab function we have. In print fab, we have same if it is less than 1, we are terminating. If it is 1, we are printing 0. If it is 2, we are printing 0 and 1. If it is greater than 2, we will be calling this fib function. So here, if it is less than 3, means if it is 2 or 1, it will be terminating by itself and it will come out of the function, main function. So what if I didn't write this termination function here? We will keep on doing. See, if you see here, there is some digits also, like negative, it has overflow. Our interview is always positive, right? So now here we have some unsigned values also, which is some junk value. In Java, you will get stack overflow here. This is cleverly handling every issue. I don't know why. And we discussed arrays also yesterday. So while discussing arrays, I said arrays and pointers are same. Okay. So when I said same, means here we have print numbers. Let's take we have an array, and now I am passing it like it will access either if I take if I give array like this, or if I give like this also it will work. So that yesterday it was not working. Arrays always will be accessed using for loops. Okay. See here, I am taking array as a pointer. Here I am taking array as a regular syntax. So here also I am doing like this. It still it worked. So let's see more with array with pointers in another program. So the same printing method only. Here I am initializing this array. Let's take like this. So in initializing array, I have taken, instead of regular syntax, I have taken array as a pointer. Okay. And what I'm doing is like I'm incrementing the pointer. So instead I have written this opposite right side of this one, that doesn't work. So here the same pointer with I am incrementing the, as we talked yesterday, arrays will store data in contiguous memory location. So plus one increment will increment the pointer one at a time. So now it is clear that arrays will store data whichever supplied in a sequence contiguous memory location. As pointer is also a memory location, pointer also holds the memory of the variable whichever is defined. So we are just incrementing the pointer by one. Still worked. Where here if you see we are not initializing this array. We are initializing this array using one more function where I am using pointers. Here I am not giving any index to store the value. Actually, the syntax of arrays initialization is we have to define like this and we have to give the index of it. So here if you see, I didn't give any index. I'm just incrementing the pointer value one by one and I'm storing the data. Now if you see index and value, whichever I'm storing is matching. So now let's do some operations on arrays, like find even and odd element. Now I have an array element which is having some data. I'm calculating the length of the array by using size of operator. So I'm doing count odd. Don't miss Sunday class. We will be discussing data structures that day. So even functionality is like for number if it is even or odd. To find out we have to do mod. We have to divide by two. If it is remainder is zero, it is even. If it is not zero, it is odd. Okay. So same here, we are looping through the array numbers from zero index. We are doing a modulo operation. If it is not equal to zero, I am incrementing odd value. So in the same way, to calculate even, we have defined even number. If it is equal to zero, we are calculating number of we are incrementing the even number value and we are returning it. So the program counter comes to here. It initializes odd numbers with zero and it will start accessing the array. So whenever we find a number whichever is modulo 2 is not equal to 0, the odd number counter will increase. We'll discuss all previous questions from Monday or Tuesday. Once we covered all the concepts, we'll take the questions and we'll explain in the class itself. I wanted to prepare some material, but was very busy in my office work. That's why I wanted to take on Sunday class. Okay. So today I want to stop till here because these programs yesterday there were like small uh, errors we got, but debugging took time. Like this one is very simple one, but still it took time. That's why I wanted to edit previously and then I came here. Okay, I want to stop class here. Tomorrow, not tomorrow, Sunday we will be discussing for some time string. So let's do here itself for strings. I will be discussing strings very basic, okay, not deep. In Java, sorry, actually I am working in Java, not in C. So in C, we define a character array, right? We have a character array. Here we define the size 5 or 10 and we initialize with character arrays, right? A2 like this. Okay. This is a character array. So there are number of ways to declare a string. So if your string is nothing but like if a group of characters is together, we call it as a string. Like if I want to give only a single character, it will be this it should be denoted in a single quotation. If I want to define a string, it should be denoted in the double quote. Okay. The main syntax of string is same like array only. This is one syntax. Okay. So how to initialize it? I can give directly in double quotation. Space also will be treated as a character. This is one way. Or here I can define size of it, like 20 character. Like that size also I can mention. It won't give any error. So through character array, like this also I can declare. But there is a catch here. If we want to define initialize a string with character array, we must and should end this with 0 with this notation. We call it as null character or empty character. With, so if we didn't declare this value like this, if you want to represent a string using character array, it and should flow end with this character. If not, it will be treated as a normal character array. It's not a string. If we end this character array with this particular symbol, this we call it treat it as a string, not character array. So in string, like whenever we are printing a string, I can directly give this str value. So it will be treated, it will be printed the entire thing as single string value. So, but for array, I cannot give like this, right? If I give array directly, it will print some address, I think. In Java, it will print some junk address. Let's see in program. To define a string, we should give percentages. This we discussed initially, right? Let's quickly execute this one. So it printed like this. So we have discussed other ways of also visualizing this one by using character array. As I told earlier, so if you are giving like this without closing, if you are initializing a string with character array without closing with null character, it won't understand, it won't consider it as a string. I think here it is in this ID, it is default displacing. I give neo, weird compiler. Why it came again? Even the weird. Let's give a null character. See, I think it is printing some junk, which is adding all together. If I end with this null character, it is giving me whatever until here. It is considering me as a string and it is giving me like that. If I didn't give like that, okay. Yeah. If I didn't end with null character, it will it cannot give me proper value, proper result. Okay. There are some strings methods also like strlen to get the length of the character and get s like that. So these all we'll discuss tomorrow. That will be asked in examination. Like you may get a question like define a string, the syntax of the string, and define different methods used in string. So that and all we'll discuss on Sunday. Okay, and we'll be doing a number of programs on Sunday using data structures and algorithms. Okay, I want to stop class today. If any doubts, just you can ask now itself. Either I will tell today or I will tell on Sunday. You can directly unmute and ask, or you can ping me in the chat section, or you can ping to Venkat. So for one more thing, I want to this one linear and binary recursion. Linear and binary search. Are you asking? Okay, I got it. I think there are some other recursions also. Direct recursion, linear recursion, binary recursion. We will discuss this on Sunday class because it will take some time. So it's good to write different examples. If you have any other doubts, you can just collect, write, note them, and you can ask at a time on Sunday class. Okay, because we will be taking, I think, Monday and afternoon two classes to discuss data structures and algorithms. We have to discuss files. We have to discuss um, this one strings and other methods also. And actually, precedence I didn't cover earlier. I thought we'll be doing at the middle. So check about board mass while coming on Friday, on Sunday. Okay, let's meet on Sunday. So, bye.